The galactic archives are filled with cautionary tales, but none are as stark as the one about humanity. Across 1,000 star systems, a single unspoken rule binds every sentient species. From the crystalline silicoids of Altair to the gaseous nebulons of the Orion Spur. It's a rule etched not in law, but in blood and cosmic dust. Do not attack the humans. 2. This wasn't always the case. When humans first burst onto the galactic scene, they were seen as little more than curious upstarts. Technologically, they were centuries behind. Biologically, they seemed fragile soft-skinned, slow to heal, and bound to a single planet. The mighty Klaxian Empire, a race of insectoid warriors who had conquered entire quadrants, saw them as an easy target. A quick, decisive strike to claim the resource-rich Sol system and add another jewel to their crown. It was their first and last mistake. The Klaxians expected a swift victory. They sent their vanguard fleet, a force that had shattered planetary defenses countless times. They anticipated resistance, yes, but organized, predictable resistance. What they encountered was something else entirely. Chaos. The humans didn't fight by the established rules of interstellar warfare. They didn't surrender when their orbital stations fell. They didn't break when their cities burned. Instead, they adapted. They improvised. They fought with a ferocity that bordered on madness. They turned their civilian freighters into makeshift warships, ramming them into Klaxian dreadnoughts. They weaponized asteroids, launching them on unpredictable trajectories. Their soldiers, outmatched in strength and armor, used guerrilla tactics, turning every ruined city into a death trap. The Klaxians, accustomed to honorable, open-field combat, were bewildered. This wasn't war. It was a rabid animal cornered and lashing out with everything it had. But the true horror for the Klaxians began when they thought they had one. They occupied Earth, their banners flying over the rubble. And that's when the human spirit, the very thing they couldn't comprehend, unleashed its ultimate weapon. Persistence. There was no surrender treaty. No plea for mercy. Only a silent, simmering rage that erupted in every corner of their new colony. Supply lines were sabotaged. Occupation patrols vanished without a trace. Klaxian commanders were found dismantled in their secure bunkers. The humans called it insurgency. The rest of the galaxy called it a nightmare. The Klaxian Empire, a force that had stood for 10,000 years, began to crumble, not from external attack, but from within. The cost of holding Earth became astronomical. Morale plummeted. The Empire's resources were drained trying to suppress a population that simply refused to be conquered. They were fighting ghosts, an enemy that was everywhere and nowhere. Years turned into decades. The Klaxians, once proud conquerors, became paranoid jailers on a planet that hated them. They eventually retreated, not because they were defeated in a grand battle, but because they were exhausted, broken by a war they never understood. Their empire collapsed into civil war shortly after. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. The message was clear. Today, even the strongest warriors, beings who can wrestle black holes and walk on the surface of stars, give the Sol system a wide berth. They know that attacking humanity is not just a declaration of war. It's signing your own civilization's death warrant. You might win the battle, you might even occupy their world, but you will never break their spirit. And in the end, that spirit will be the poison that unravels everything you are. They are the galaxy's sleeping giant, and no one is foolish enough to wake them again. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more stories from across the cosmos.